Hey guys, and welcome back to Naruto Shippuden episode 22. So in the last episode we had Sasori, my man, whipping out the third Hokage puppet that he, the third Kazekage puppet that, apparently that's what happened to the third Kazekage, the most powerful of the Kazekages. Sasori turned him into a puppet and equipped him with some weapons, and he's now fighting Lady Chiyo, who turned Sakura into a puppet, but not the way that Sasori turns people into puppets, but just by attaching some strings to her so that she can wiggle her about. My theory, though, is that helps if I can speak English. My theory, though, is that leaves Lady Chiyo in somewhat of a precarious position, because she mentioned previously that the problem with the Puppet Master Jutsu is that the Puppet Master themselves is left quite open to attack when they're mastering their puppet. So, yeah, I think that's probably the way it's going to go down. Knowing now that Sasori basically destroyed or tricked her. See, that's the thing. So I was thinking, Sasori, wrecked the most powerful Kazekage in the history of the sand. Apart from maybe, we don't know if Gaara was maybe more powerful. It hasn't really spoken about that. And I was thinking, oh man, Lady Chiyo and Sakura really have no chance whatsoever now. But it didn't say that Sasori defeated the third Kazekage in one-on-one combat. Sasori could have just tricked the Kazekage. All it takes is for Sasori to poison him, and that's him, because without the antidote to that poison, he would have died just the same way that what's his face, Konkuro, just the same way that Konkuro would have died. So yeah, it doesn't really speak of the combat efficacy of Sasori. It only speaks to the fact that he managed to do it, which is quite impressive to begin with, but not that he is a super powerful in combat. But I'm sure we'll find out about that. On the other hand, we had the Team Guy mirror match that I gave my thoughts on that, and I really just meh. And we had Deidara just flying away on his sweaty handbird. I made a comment in the last episode that I find Deidara boring, and funnily enough, a lot of you guys found Deidara boring as well. Deidara, the character's kind of interesting. The personality of Deidara is kind of interesting, and I kind of like his personality. But I find the character himself quite boring. Like the sweaty handbirds, I just don't like. Everyone else makes explosions by writing on a little piece of paper and then throwing them on a kunai or leaving them attached to something, whereas he feels the need to go through this extra step of making a sweaty handbird. So when I seen his hand, I thought that was going to be something really epic, I don't know, suck the souls out of people or something. But yeah, it's kind of an underwhelming character. I mean, I suppose it's kind of like Tenten in a way, where he can throw explosives, and that's kind of the extent of what we've seen so far anyway. Maybe my mind will be changed as it goes further, but as for in combat character, I feel like his combat sections are kind of meh. I didn't mention it, but I was talking to Susie about this before. I know this is quite a long intro analytical thing, but I feel like I don't get enough time in the episodes to actually say some of these things. I was talking to Susie about it before, and obviously most of hers is just the conversations when we talk about Naruto is her being yep, because she doesn't want to spoil anything. But I was saying to her about my thoughts when Deidara first fought Gaara and how Deidara defeated Gaara, and Deidara says he thinks to himself about Gaara's protective sand, about how he didn't realize that the sand that Gaara uses to attack is also the sand that Gaara uses to defend. And this is after Gaara had crushed his arm, and then Gaara pulled the sand back into his defensive shell, and then he attacked, and then he says, "Oh, I didn't realize that was all the same sand." But then in the next episode, he's like, "Yeah, but I also infused the sand he attacked me with the little exploding bugs." And for me, that just stood out as being so disjointed, because at one point he's essentially lying to himself by saying that he didn't realize that it was the same sand, and then he was like, yeah, but actually I infused exploding bugs into it, which would have done nothing if it was like separate sand. Does this make sense? I hope this makes sense. It just seemed really disjointed, and I don't know if that's if it was like an oversight and when the manga was written, or if it was an oversight when it was turned into an anime, so that they could have like the cliffhanger of him like, oh no, I didn't realize that, and then like the twist of him actually planning something. I don't know if it was like an oversight in the writing of the anime or the writing of the manga, but it was quite a glaring oversight, which made me just kind of dislike Deidara, because I felt like it kind of cheapened Gaara by sort of retconning something like mid-fight, which I didn't like. So yeah, maybe that's another reason that I find Deidara quite boring of a character. Plus, I mean, like the exploding bird thing was cool. It's like, oh look, like a 50 megaton exploding bird, but I just feel like there's so many more interesting characters like Orochimaru, like Sasori, like Itachi, even Kisame is quite an interesting character, whereas I feel like Deidara, apart from his eye thing, like I don't know why he's got a cyborg eye, but I'm sure we'll find out. But there's only one way to do that, and that's the end of my rant. And that's by watching the next episode. But before we do remember, if you've not yet liked this video, you can do so by hitting the thumbs up underneath the video. It apparently helps out. YouTube tells me that I should be asking people to like my videos, so please do it. Oh, now without further ado, let's crash it into Naruto Shippuden episode 22.
I really am lucky, getting to take down 2 different Jinchuriki.
But yeah, assume you're going to take down Naruto with your sweaty handbirds.
Naruto!
Gotta say, that's quite impressive that he can mold it into such a detailed looking bird with just one hand. Give you props for that one, Deidara.
Damn it.
Jeez, Naruto's going full on beast. Beast mode activated.
Kakashi-sensei!
I'm sure Kakashi will be fine. What I'm more interested in is, what are these wooden things that are going across the chasm?
A single piece of detonating clay isn't gonna cut it, I guess. I don't have a lot of clay left either.
Okay, but what do you do without the clay?
Naruto, wait!
I love that what Jiraiya says to Naruto is exactly what Naruto's doing.
I won't be able to contact Guy's team. I have to hurry.
Or you could just tell Guy where you're going. Ever think of that one? When you're in a combat situation, one of the most important things to do is constantly inform your team of every action that you're doing. The thing is, I don't expect these mirror matches to be easy, but it's obvious who's going to win them, do you know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong.
No good. There's no end in sight to this.
It just feels like they're flashing to these mirror matches just to be like, they're still fighting, this is why they can't help, and then it flashes away.
Rotation! Damn it. What are we supposed to do?
See? 10-10 can do your exploding bird thingies, except she doesn't need no sweaty hand. Oh, it's Dejo, they're not as explosive as the exploding... Yeah, it's the same thing. I'm sure that there's more exploding, explosive, explodey, righty things as well.
How the hell do you beat yourself? I'm running out of ideas here.
I just realized that this is like the perfect opportunity for the liar, or liar. You know, they're interchangeable. For the liar joke that I always make about kicking my own ass.
There's no way the girl will survive my poison.
Well, she will if she's got the antidote.
I managed not to inhale it.
Managed just not to inhale at all? Oh lord, what's that? Wait, have they both got strings attached to Sakura? Or... Oh no, he just tied her up. Fan service, gentlemen.
What? What have you...
Ropes with kunai on the end. You should deflect them. Dodging only gets you tangled up.
Not if you fully dodge them.
So you're determined not to let the child go, are you?
It's useless, Granny. If one breathes even a hint of this poison, then you're a goner.
Seems like quite a powerful poison you got there.
Sakura.
It's all over.
Sorry, what, like a regular human can hold their breath for, what, like 1 minute, 2 minutes if they're trained? Not obviously super trained, but... So surely someone in the Naruto universe can just, like, you know, I channel my chakra to my lungs.
I swore to myself that this time I would protect them both.
Well, you might want to stop getting yourself tied up.
Can't let it end here.
See, if you were Neji, you would just, you know, emit chakra from your pores and cut it.
That poisonous gas will disperse in a minute. Hang in there, Sakura.
You're just lucky the poisonous gas didn't fill the entire cave.
Sakura, hold on!
I'm not going to die here.
Granny's gonna kill herself.
What?
What was that? Did you just explode yourself so you didn't have to breathe any poison? Surely the explosion can't be good for you. Or was it a wind explosion?
Sakura, hold on, child. Just stay with me.
No, it seems like a regular explosion.
Not bad, I've got to admit.
She just blew herself up, mate.
Oh, this is bad. She's not breathing.
Well, that was kind of the point 10 minutes ago, but I think you're, yeah, that's better.
She used the blast wave from a paper bomb to dissipate the gas.
She blew herself up. So it was just a regular bomb.
How reckless.
But can she do the super healing thing like, Kurobo and Lady Tsunade?
You can blow my limbs off. You can poison me till I can't move anymore. But I'm still going to get you!
I'm just imagining her bumping around like a tic-tac. No arms, no legs. Can't even move, and she's like, I'm gonna kill you! I like that his response to that was just the fire kunai at her. It's like, yeah, pew!
All I want is the Jinchuriki. The copy ninja's a headache I don't need.
And all I want is to know what's going on with your eyeball. That noise is vile. That noise is the onomatopoeia of moist. I don't even think onomatopoeia is the correct word there. That is the visceral equivalent of the word moist. Onomatopoeia would be like boom or kapow.
He sure is trying his damnedest to split the two of us up.
Well, yeah, that's this entire thing has been divide and conquer, mate.
I guess my only option is taking the two of them down together. I don't have much detonating clay left.
Well, I know you've already said that to us.
If I knew I was gonna end up in this predicament, I probably would have brought along a little extra.
But where do you get it from? Is it just like a detonating clay shop? Oh, Granny's whipped out her puppets.
Really now, haven't you any manners? A man should be attentive when a lady speaks to him.
I mean, I'm kind of with Sasori, to be honest with you. No more talk no jutsu. Just shuriken no jutsu. And where does the no come into it? Like, the meme's always something no jutsu. I'm assuming that comes from the Japanese as opposed to the dub.
Yeah, I suppose I do.
This is mom and dad.
Are the very first puppets that you ever crafted.
Oh, that's messed up. He actually made his mom and dad into puppets. Like, that's super messed up.
What could you possibly hope to accomplish with them? Those puppets were made by my hand. I know all their tricks. This is just silly.
Unless Granny's done some upgrades to your mom and dad. Have I mentioned how messed up this is? What the hell is this?
Clear out of the way.
Right.
Should I go to try and chop them into little pieces? Yep, it's very sharp wire. What the heck is this? Oh my god, it's got a bloody sword! Well, that's the interesting thing. Just because that's a puppet made out of the third Hokage doesn't mean it's as powerful as the third Hokage. Just means it's using his skin, you know? Jesus Christ, you alright, mate? Lord, why does it do that? Looks like he's not got much of a weapon left. It looks like none of them's got much of a weapon left.
This is starting to get messy. Guess I better play my next hand.
I was gonna say, what has he got left? It's millions of tiny little puppets.
That's the third jutsu.
Brings back memories, huh?
Interesting. You can do the jutsu from the Kazakage?
What is that?
The most terrifying weapon in the history of the Sand Village. The Iron Sand.
The iron sand. I mean, you can turn iron into powder, I guess. But what? I'm assuming that the actual sand itself is controllable in some way? Sort of like how Gaara manipulates the sand, except he can manipulate the iron sand. Yeah, interesting. That's cool. I enjoyed that. That was kind of messed up, though, that he essentially turned his parents into his very first puppets. But, I mean, what do you expect from Sasori, my man? Also, why does he still hate waiting? Like, I don't get it. It's not been explained. I'm sure we'll find out. But unfortunately, we've got to call the episode there. So as always, thanks all for watching. I've been Stu, you've been awesome, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.